72 goes down low. The 79 gets caught up in it just at the very end. The 67 though of Nathan Stanley makes it on through free and clear. He, Paul Ferdiani, and Larry Dickerson having a drag race down to the for one last attack, getting underneath him, not quite able to make it stick, having to lift once again. Into exit of turn number 4, down onto the front straightaway here. Who's going to win it with the drag race? It's going to be Timothy Pope. First 3 and 4, 751 with a hefty lead here, about a half a car length as the one gets up into the wall with a run down. 200 feet. It's going to be a close one across the line. Derek Wells made it 3 wide on the far outside lane, picking up spots left and right here as everybody fighting for every single spot we go. Coming across the line, white flag. So here we go, final lap. Hello and welcome back, everybody, and welcome to some Numb Thumbs Racing League action in their Cup Series here tonight. And boy, has this break felt like it's gone on forever, but we are finally back in some live racing action here on this Monday night in, well, I'd usually say sunny California, but it's nighttime here at Autoclub here tonight, where these drivers will have 85 laps to try to get everything all done here tonight. So without further ado, running a little late here, but we always start things off with the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And welcome back. As always, some great sponsors are the reason why we can put this show on for y'all here tonight, one of which is Gulf Coast Sands. I don't have that one ready right now because I'm slack-a-lacking. But we also have JP Designs and 3D Prints on board all season long. Thank you for them. Doing some great iRacing paint schemes as well as some 3D printing and some button boxes. So be sure to go get in contact with them to order your stuff here today. As always, we also have Butt Kicker joining us once again. Enhance your sim experience by putting a little rumble in your seat and just make all these races, farming, trucking, whatever have you, feel just a little bit more realistic with a butt kicker underneath your butt. We also have Admin Box as well, premier button box here for race control admins. Just reach with a finger. They can do yellow flags, wave arounds, black flags, whatever have you. So be sure to go and order your button box here today, as well as big thank you to Track Bar Media for that fantastic new intro. SimGearCentral.com. Get your button box here today. Get all the button styles, knobs, flip switches, whatever have you for any sim you could possibly think of. So be sure to go check them out and use promo code, or just let them know that, NTRL and AAA Broadcasting sent you on over there for 10% off. Speaking of getting 10% off, I think TrekDogsRacing.com still's got some Black Friday sales going on. So be sure to go get some NTRL merchandise over there. They even got jerseys now up there. So your favorite drivers get their name on your back there with some numbers. And man, what sporting event wouldn't be right without any jersey? So we thank TrekDogsRacing.com, the premier merchandise supplier over here at NTRL. Else, for those of us coming back in from this Thanksgiving weekend, I'm Alan Brown, and I have yet to see a single episode of Yellowstone. I am joined by my good friend, Mr. Alan English, joining me in this booth. Alan, we've had quite a bit of layoff time here, so things are running a little rusty, but man, we cannot wait to see this great race here at Autoclub tonight.
Well, I'm all caught up on Yellowstone, by the way. It's a pretty good program. Yeah, man, we love this track, right? Autoclub, 2 miles long. It produces great racing. I can't believe they're getting rid of this track. Whoever made that decision is an idiot, because this track is awesome. I can't believe they're going to tear this place up. But yeah, there's a couple different lines you can kind of run around here. There's an extreme outside line you can run. You can, run outer, inner, outer, do some diamonds and stuff. But I think most of the guys you're going to see are going to be running middle to high up on the track. It's progressively banked. So 85 laps here. It's going to be a heck of a night tonight here at California.
That it shall be. Is down there on pit road. Adam, I don't know what you've done without having the opportunity to witness some fights for just about a week here, but hey, we're back live on this Monday night, getting ready for the great action that we typically see here at Auto Club.
Yeah, I'm definitely ready to get back in the mode of some fighting and stuff. English, I'm a little more concerned about you using the word program for your show. That's kind of strange.
That's what it is. It's a television program.
Yeah, I heard that in the 70s. One fast repair, 70% fuel, 5 sets of tires, 25 incident points, you're disqualified. 66 degrees on the track. Nice and cool.
It is, as we get ready to head on down there to see these guys grid on up here tonight. But looking at that race info, nice skies here, no weather to report, bringing us down to the key to the race, to this 2-mile racetrack. And boy, oh boy, you gotta save the rubber. There's a lot of tire wear here at Auto Club that these drivers are definitely gonna be trying to focus on and trying to maintain here.
This is one of those tracks, if you got your graphics turned up good, which I believe we do here on the broadcast, you're going to be able to see rubber starting to get laid into the track in the racing line. So this nice clean track out there is not going to look like that for long, as these guys turn hard into the turns, and they're going to be depositing a little bit of rubber out there on the track. So watch it start darken up there in the turns as these guys proceed on down. It's a 170-mile race.
Oh, no add on there, Adam?
Oh, I got, there's all kinds of stuff going on around here. Sorry, I getting distracted. Dogs are fighting at my house. I got to deal with that.
That's all right. Well, either way, the grid is set here tonight as we head on down there to the gridding area on pit road as we get ready. And let's tell everybody where their favorite driver is starting here tonight. The 2 Guanamenes winning that pole position. The 48 is Zeth Holly will be starting on his outside. Number 1 Bogus Derek Welch starting here in third with the 663 of Ryan Pandisio starting in 4th. Got the 64 of Joe Hoggard starting tonight in 5th, with that 3 of Chris Muth Jr. starting in 6th. 23, Mark Collins, Mac Daddy, going to be starting here in 7th, with the 76 of Richard Hurst with a great qualifying position here tonight, going to be starting in 8th. 9th, we've got the 9 of Tommy Welch, with the 15 of Vince Short rounding out your starting top 10.
Row number 6 is going to be Stubbs in the 79. Timothy Stubblefield starting on the inside to his outside. Kevin Delia in the 43. Eric Thornton in the 22 is going to start inside row 7, and to his outside, Dana Shepard. Row number 8 is going to be Nathan Stanley Cubby in the 67, and Paul Ferdiani, the gambler, to his outside. And then we've got 00 Joe Bennett starting 17th, 18th, Gavin Ray in the 55 of Tom Barish in that double nickel numb thumbs machine. That rounds out your field, boys.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Only 19 cars tonight.
if you say so.
I did.
Well, either way, these guys head on down there to this track as we get ready to get going here. We thank you all for tuning in and watching. And Mr. English, I know those comments have been flying on in here.
Yeah, they have. We want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. John Buckley's here. Stubfield's fan club is here. Jessica's here, pulling for Stubbs out there, saying, I love a good hype video. Thanks Track Bar Media for that. We sure appreciate them. And Jessica Stubfield as well, saying, hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. My wife had the flu, but we still got to eat. We're thankful for that. So just no out-of-town trips were taken. NTG Trucking joining us as well, saying, hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving and a safe long weekend. Same to you, buddy. And here we go.
Here we go into that restart zone for the first time here tonight. Back to green flag racing. After Thanksgiving, they go shuffling side by side here in this Numb Thumbs Racing League Cup Series here tonight. The two of Juan Jimenez holding on to that lead up at the front, but it's almost going to be 3 wide here with Derek Welsh. You got Seth Hawley, you got Chris Muth Jr. Oh, we got ones going down into the wall.
Be careful, boys.
There's a lot of emotions out there on the chat and on the track.
As they continue to slice and dice their way here, Juan Jimenez continuing to lead. It looks like people somewhat being able to figure out the situation here up at the front, but Derek Welch went all the way from 2nd all the way back to 9th in one corner alone. So these guys are racing hard and taking no prisoners as Ryan Pandisio goes side by side with that 48. Is that all able to sneak on through? Looks like the 43, Kevin Delia, is trying to do the same thing on now here.
Gotta get that temp built up, that pressure built up in them tires before you start doing anything too crazy. But looks like they're starting to hang in there.
Yeah, we just got to see who's going to be the tyrant tonight. Who's going to take over. That's what we need to see.
Gonna take over the points, huh?
Yes.
They still race side by side. Juan Jimenez trying to stay out in front here, but he's been having some good challenges come up from that 48, that 43, and that 663. But that's not the only battle out here on the track. 33, Paul Ferdiani, the gambler. He's right now side by side with that, I believe that's the 64 machine. Might be the 44 Dana Shepard. I'm sorry, I can't see nothing here tonight. As they battle side by side for some top 10 spots. Stubbs still hanging on to that top 10 spot, lurking behind these guys as well.
How about Chris Muth Jr. in that awesome throwback looking Budweiser paint job in that Chevrolet? I love that paint. That's pretty awesome. Some good ones out there.
Yeah, that's definitely a good paint scheme. I like the Mountain Dew one back here in the back. Not a crazy Thomas Welch is driving that one. Around what you can't see, but I know you know where the buttons are, so you can hit all the buttons correctly, I'm assuming.
Well, yeah, that's the person having a button.
You don't even need to see.
Spectacles on or what?
Nah, one of the contacts decided to flip around and do some funky business here as Kevin Delia side by side up in front with that 48. Going side by side, still down into turns 1 and 2, fighting harder than the real Mrs. Poindexter out there, with the 2 still out there in the lead as bumping and banging keeps on happening here throughout this field. That 27 of Gavin Ray, he's having a pretty good battle right now. He's kind of locked in with Vince Short and 00 Joe Bennett right now.
I'd rather wear my glasses than putting something on my eyeball. I don't see how y'all do that. Real close race between the 3 and the 33 here. Another great paint out there. World Series of Poker Machine of the Gambler there, Paul Ferdiani.
He's trying to make some moves on youth there. 64 Joe Hogger dipped down in front of him. At what point are these tires really going to start hurting? Because this is a concrete styled track, old school.
Well, I mean, you said it yourself. The temperature out here is really low, especially for California. 66 degrees out there on the track, so they're going to get some good grip out there. You don't have to worry about it getting too hot and greasy. But yeah, they're definitely going to wear these tires down.
Yes, sirree, is Paul Ferdiani diving on down to that far inside lane. Multiple grooves here tonight. You can see them all kind of separated by those kind of, what do you want to call those? The like road
seams?
Snake lines, the seams.
There's seams in the pavement there.
Either way, that's kind of where you want to end up. Once when you're kind of locked into the corner, you don't really want to be kind of between the two of them, as kind of splitting those seams can get a little dicey and make that car kind of unsettled here. As man, that 2 of Juan Jimenez just looks like he's keeping that car about 18 feet wide right now, and people having some real problems trying to pass him.
3 wide coming into turn 1.
Almost 4 wide. Look at that.
Yeah, 79. Timothy Stonefield making a move up 3 spots. Getting aggressive.
I like his line running up there in the high line, but he does have some cars coming up. Like you see the 3 keeps sliding up there, taking his line away on corner exit. That's where that outside line really benefits you, is on corner exit, but you can't make it pay off for you if somebody's sliding up there and taking that line away from you.
Yeah, Muth is driving with the whole track in mind. Probably a smart move.
Well, and taking advantage a little bit of the draft is here as well, as it does matter.
Oh, it always does.
Ooh. That was a close one between 33 and 44.
64 as well. Joe Hogger up there scraping the outside wall just a little bit, but able to keep on rolling here as he battles with that 3. Everybody finding some sort of dancing partner here tonight. Kevin Delia leapfrogs over that 2. Juan Jimenez takes the lead away as the 2 now having a good battle here with the 48 and the 663 Ryan Pandicio. Everyone battling for every spot that they can gather here. Stubblefield still battling with that 3. Now the 33 battling with the 3. We also have got Gavin Ray back here in that 27 machine, having a good fight with the 67 and the 1. You got the 23 Mark Collins back here as well. That 9 of Tommy Welch staying involved in this one, but really only got a couple drivers that are out of it right now. We got Eric Thornton right now being almost scored 1 lap down. He will have these leaders coming up on him pretty quick. And Richard Hurst, who is a few laps down.
Well, Kevin Delia is he trying to be on everywhere at once? He is blocking like crazy this early in the race. It's pretty interesting.
Got to do something out there. He's found his strategy, it looks like. Yeah, Jessica, it's bad down here too, the flu. My wife is feeling a lot better. She actually went back to work today, so thank you so much for saying so. And Nikki Short pulling for Vincent Short out there. Always love the support from the families out there.
That we always do as we continue to battle side by side here. 3 wide here for 3rd Great battle happened here for the that third spot. 63, 64, and the 2 going side by side here. That 64 continuing to use that momentum, and they're both moving on up here. That 663 of Ryan Pandicio on that outside with Hoggard on that bottom side. They're now splitting up here. The 48 of Zeth Hawley as they try to make some more moves happen here on lap number 12 out of 85 as this race continues to rumble on along. Double O Joe Bennett using that high line to his advantage here, going over the 27 and the 67 there, picking up a couple spots.
Great green flag race in action to start this thing off. We knew we were going to see it. Here it is, guys. I mean, this is why Auto Club is so much fun. Different lines to run. Draft is a factor. Tire wear a big factor. I just don't understand, why they want to tear this track down. It's insane to me.
Well, I mean, it's California. Okay, just remember that. That's number one answer.
Yeah, somebody had to sign off on this. It's pretty ridiculous to me.
Well, I mean, they got a governor that's out there eating at the chateau while he's got his peasants wearing masks. I mean, what do you expect? Somebody signs off on everything out there.
We want to thank everybody for joining us over there on the stream. If you haven't already, click that thumbs up button for us. It gets us a little bit more exposure and some good sponsors out there like Gulf Coast Sand. Sponsoring tonight's race, the Gulf Coast Sand 170 here at Auto Club. We're going to be doing a fan of the race here later, so keep those comments coming, y'all. Support your drivers out there. We know y'all love to do that.
Yes, sir-ree, indeed, as that fan of the race gets entered in for a drawing here coming up at the end of this season. And believe it or not, we're getting closer and closer to that day. Oh, it's a 64, tags the outside wall here once again, but that drawing is for a fancy RGB mechanical keyboard. Man, does that thing look nice. Be sure to keep those comments on coming in so we can pick you guys here tonight and add you to that list, as that 43 Kevin Delia was facing a good charge here from some of the guys coming up behind him, but able to hold them off for right now.
A little beating and banging here with Vince Short. Wow, something happened.
Sean Reese joining us as well, pulling for Stub Nation out there. Yeah, I heard somebody have some connection issues out there. It looks like the 2 just blinked out.
That's the 2 talking. Juan Jimenez is having some issues. He actually blinked completely off the track.
That he is, and he is still having that connection issue as he falls back through this field. Man, he is having a tough go of it right now, but still able to try to maintain some of this speed as the 15 Vince Short looks down low underneath that 79 of Stubblefield, having a great race here tonight. Stubbs, he's not being sneaky at all about trying to stay in this top 10, man. He is fighting hard.
Yeah, we saw him on the podium last week, and he'd really like to get up there once again. Probably try to get a win out here. No, did he make the podium? No, he got wrecked down at the end, didn't he?
Yeah, you were yelling at him for making
that's right.
making a move.
I forgot about the end of it. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you were screaming at your TV, letting everybody know. That's all I
this
remember.
television program we're doing right here.
I love this program. I usually find it in the TV guide, the Reader's Digest version. So hopefully you can find that at your local bookstore.
I haven't gotten a TV guide in the mail in forever.
That's kind of the point.
Now, do you spell program with an A or an I?
A.
So,
Well, because you're saying it like it's an I.
Program?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, that's exactly how they talk in Louisiana. You got to know how to decipher it. Oh man, that's a good one.
Well, either way, the race in action continues out here at Auto Club here tonight. 18 laps down, going on to 19 here in just a few seconds. As that 15 Vince Short, I think he was just laying back, maybe saving up those tires just a little bit, because he's charging to dive head on into the top 5 here, battling with the 33 Paul Ferdiani. He's now going to chase down That 663 of Panic at the Disco. Ryan Pandicio continuing to fight his way up through this field. And boys, we've already started to see that the great action that we've seen, it's still rolling on, but it's definitely kind of fizzled out a little bit here. We still got some too wide action going on, but I got a feeling these guys are really starting to feel the pain with old tires coming up.
Well, they're getting spread out too here, Adam, and you got to think. Green flag pit stops are right there at the front of your mind right now, I'm sure, as these guys are starting to kind of make their plans.
Yeah, all the way back to 14, everybody's fairly close together, but they are spreading out. I don't think we're going to see any issues until those pit stops and then blending in and all that stuff as the green flag pit stops go. But
Guys
so far,
locking it up.
yeah, super smooth race so far. Not a huge field, but large enough to have some fun.
As 00 Joe Bennett was showing some frustrations here on the live camera. He's been not happy with his performance here thus far back in 15th. Might have gotten involved with another driver too, but he definitely was not happy out there while he tries to make up some ground here. You can definitely hear him well out of that throttle here going into these turns, trying to run that high line. But I got a feeling those tires are already a little too far gone to maybe try to save that little extra to get him to that pitting point here tonight.
I'm seeing Zeth Hawley in that 48 Lowe's machine, that Stars and Stripes machine, getting pushed by the 663 of Ryan Condicio in that docket car. He's doing a pretty good job of staying square and pushing Zeth Hawley up there. They made up some ground here. They're moving, boy.
I'm more concerned about 00 Joe. I'm trying to watch his mannerisms there and see who he was wanting to fight. I want to see if there's some kind of issue that we may get excited about later. See who crossed him. I didn't get to see it either.
The battle rages on here tonight. Go ahead, man.
Oh, it'd be something if the other drivers could actually see your gestures and stuff. If you pulled up next to them, that'd be.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Or should we come in the next update for this
They
program?
should. That would be really cool.
That would be, and I got a feeling there would be a lot of typing of, you know, like in video games, you type like a slash emote, it'd be slash sticks finger out window netting.
Yes. Tell them they're number one. Hashtag
Well,
you're number
if
one.
it's me, I'm going to have a pistol in one hand. I know that. I ain't going to the track without one of those. These guys, you just never know when they're going to cross you.
Nikki Short out there saying, woohoo! She saw something she liked out there, I'm sure, with the 15 running. Albert Anderson, what a sweet comment. We love old Albert. He says, I choose AAA broadcasting over Monday Night Football every week. Thank you,
Yeah.
Albert. We appreciate you, buddy.
Who's even playing? I need to put it on the other screen, but I'm sure it's not as good as this anyway.
It's probably not even that good of a game.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Like
there's-
Monday night and Thursday night, those ain't football nights.
It depends on who it is. If it's like a good NFC East rivalry or something, or NFC North, you know, you get the Bears and the Vikings, or somebody play, you know, that might be fun to watch. Green Bay and Detroit. I don't know.
You just named half the league.
Yeah, I'm just naming stuff.
You're good at that.
Trying to fill time.
You're doing a great job.
I haven't watched the NFL game in forever. Am I kidding?
Had the battle though up here at the front. I had some of the more exciting action we've seen in sports this week. Oh, it's a 64. Oh my goodness, that was getting dangerous. I think he got a little tight and then got snapped loose, and he's gonna lose a ton of spots. As mate, here comes Vince just up like he's got fresh sets of tires on that thing, sneaking up one by one, now side by side with that 48 of Zeth Hawley.
He kind of ran out of real estate there, started sliding up the track. Vince Short, he tried to take advantage of that situation there. Great looking out by the 15. Yeah, when the Cowboys used to play the Redskins or the Eagles or the Giants on Monday night, it was always playing at my dad's when I was growing up.
Well, it's Pittsburgh 3-7 versus Indianapolis, which is 4-6.
Oh, is that
Real
what it is?
stellar game.
That's actually that should be a pretty competitive game.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
two
the
teams that really
scrubs.
don't matter, but
Sure. That's usually when they work
We got
out.
some Indiana folks. You watch the broadcast tonight. You better watch out. Nicky might have some words for you to start
I
talking
mean,
about.
they know they're terrible. I'm not. Look at their record.
Manning's not there anymore, guys.
The record is what it says it is. Right?
They are who we thought they were.
Exactly. I was getting to that.
Manning, no, everyone knows that their best player was Pat McAfee.
No, it was the freaking offensive line.
McAfee was.
He's the best offensive line in football there for a few years.
He sure did. McAfee made it interesting. He's a funny fella.
They had the
Got an-
best center in the league for years.
Got an
Was it
opinion.
Saturday? Jeff
He's
Saturday?
coaching. They gave him the job to coach a damn team. Now that's how bad they are. They just took the guy off the streets. Yeah, he's coaching them now.
Oh my goodness. I had no idea.
Well,
Meanwhile, back to the race.
speaking of coaching them,
Contact.
having a little bit of contact out there. And who said racing wasn't a contact sport? As we head side by side down into turns 3 and 4, Kevin Delia still hanging on to that lead right now, and he has been facing challengers from all over the place. The 48, the 64, the 663, the 15. Man, everybody's still up here running strong. The one of Derek Welsh able to make his way back inside this top 10, because it looks like we're starting to see our pit stops happen. Double O Joe Bennett came on down a little bit earlier on. Paul Ferdiani and Gavin Ray now coming on down, hitting their first green flag pit stops of the evening.
Well, that's their prerogative. I'm sure they are going to feel a lot better when they get those tires on just a little bit earlier than the other guys, but how is that going to help them as this thing progresses? So we'll find that part out.
These guys really putting a lot of miles on these tires here tonight.
Hey, you ain't kidding. I mean, it's,
Pretty good.
85 lap race, and they're not gonna quite make it, I don't think, on fuel or tires for that matter, to the halfway point, but they're getting pretty dang close, just like the contact there between the 48 and the 43, almost snagging quarter panels there, and that could have been an absolute atrocity, as they still got a good chunk of this field lined up behind them, as the 48 of Zeth Hawley heading on up here into the lead.
Kevin Delia just couldn't fend him off anymore. He was up there burning them tires up. Jessica Stubblefield said she's a Titan fan out there. Titan up.
Good. She's the thief then, because that's the Oilers. Everybody
Man,
knows
yeah.
that. Yeah, they should never have been down there. Thank you,
Fisher.
Bud Adams.
Warren-
Oh,
Warren
what a
Moore.
disgrace. I'm still mad about that. We need the name back. Oilers. That's Jesus. All right. Sorry.
Rant over.
Yeah. Over
To
with
be
the-
continued.
I'll keep going later. Don't kid
And the
yourself.
Texans, what a
Oh,
great
what
original name.
a joke. When they picked that name, I wanted to stab somebody down there off of.
Katy Freeway.
Well, I always want to do that.
64, kind of wobbly there. Here they come. 48, 64, and the 43 all lining up, coming down to the pit lane.
Big lineup procession here coming on down into pit lane. Looks like everyone able to slow down in time. As always, hitting that pit road under green flag is always a big key to your success here in any of these races. And hey, Autoclub, it ain't no joke. You're trying to enter in starting in the middle of the turn. So these guys have to be on their guard, whether you're staying out on track and people slowing down in front of you, or you're just worried about people coming up and hitting you from behind. And it's a 15, Vince Short. He's going to take the lead of this race. Almost some contact back there with Chris Muth Jr. And Paul Ferdiani, as Paul Ferdiani's on that fresh set of tires. Watch him as he just absolutely blows by the three guys that have yet to come on in, as Vince Short and Derek Welsh with Tommy Welsh still on out
look
there.
at this.
Boy, this is going to get tight as they're too wide in front of the 33. 33 waiting for a gap to sneak on through the bottom side. Not quite able to get it, though. He's going to have to try to build that momentum up here on that bottom side. Looks like he will as he fights to get his lap back here after that last caution, or his pit stop.
Getting kind of hairy out there, guys on brand new tires and guys on really, really old tires. It gets a little hairy out there. 55-mile-an-hour speed limit, not super low. Kind of low for a 2-mile track though. So these guys having to back it down to 55 entering. So far, everybody doing a pretty good job. Hadn't seen a black flag yet for speeding on pit lane.
No, and pretty much everyone has come on down. Waiting for Welch Short and Welch to finish up their final pit stop stuff here as they're getting those tires back on that machine. So as Paul Ferdiani comes back down and across the line, he's going to take command of this race with an F1 style. Man, oh man, talk about strategy. He did the old leapfrog. He got the undercut all done.
Wow.
Oh, Richard Hurst coming down now. He's calling it out.
Gavin Ray with the fastest lap of the race. He just set it a 40.38. He's loving those new tires.
New tires are good. Old tires are bad.
So 2-stop race here, guys. It looks like if the trend continues, they'll stop again at about what? Lap 64, 65, something like that. Guys probably going to stretch the fuel mileage as much as they can to give themselves the freshest set of tires at the end when we might have a caution or two.
That indeed is the 27. He's fought his way on up through this field, up 12 spots on the day right now. Now into 6th. He's tucked in behind that 663 of Ryan Pandisio. Paul Ferdiani still out in front with that 43 of Delia, the 48 of Holly, and the 64 of Hoggard, all in chase.
Man.
Albert Anderson said the big brake package they put on this car in this setup really helps them scrub off a bunch of speed. Makes it pretty easy to get onto pit road here. Well, not easy. It makes it easier to get onto the pit line here. Tom Buckley pulling for Gavin Ray out there saying, nice undercut out there. He's up a bunch of spots. He's currently in 6th.
Everybody's out here paying attention. Got to figure this thing out. We are spread out quite a bit. As far as single file goes, it's going to be hard to catch the next guy and make a maneuver. Except for right here, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6. Pendicio, Hoggard, and Ray. That's a pretty good little battle right there.
And Mark Collins up inside of that group as well as... Oh, here comes that 663. There's a tiny opening there from that 64, and he's going to try to make use of it side by side as they head on down the back straightaway here. Can that 663 get the bumper there? He does, and that's going to check up that 27, expecting that 64 being able to head on down to that kind of lower line that he's been running all night. The 23 and Mark Collins tried to make it work as well, but couldn't follow through on that opening.
Love the paint job too on the 27. Love the patriotic stuff we see from so many of these drivers. Very, very cool paint out there. All on the 27. What's his sponsor? American Dream Exteriors. Can't read it. Yep, American Dream. DreamTeamExteriors.com sponsor on Gavin Ray and the 27 Camaro tonight.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to get that in.
That's all good. It's we got even more battles still raging on here. 79 Stubblefield hanging on to a top 10 right now, but he's got the 15 of Vince Short coming on up here with a pretty big charge. You also got Double O Joe Bennett in the area as well. Double O maybe feeling a little bit better now that he got some of those tires all fixed up and he can run some laps here, but he is on a completely different cycle from these guys. He pitted a lot earlier. He last pitted on lap 22 as compared to basically 30 for the rest of these guys. So he's probably going to be one of the first ones to come on down for their second pit stops here coming up in a few laps.
Well, I tried to link it, Earl. Can you PM it to me or something, maybe? I think we're friends on Facebook. PM it to me and I'll post it.
What sneaky stuff are you doing over there?
I was trying to post a link for that company.
Oh, I was hoping it wasn't Zuckerberg.
It's Kevin Ray's dad's company.
Oh, okay. Well, as long as Zuckerberg's not involved,
Yeah.
I approve. I don't like that guy. I trust him.
Oh my goodness.
What? I'm just voicing an opinion. I can't have an opinion.
I'm not going to censor you.
I mean, they're spread out on the racetrack a little bit. We can have a little bit of talk about social dynamics and whatnot, can we not?
Whoa. Yeah, that college stuff is really
Giving
you some
Sorry, guys.
big words to say.
Let's get back to racing.
Check out Zeth Hawley in VR tonight, that 48 machine. Ohio native out there having some fun with his goggles on. That's always fun. I enjoy VR racing quite a bit.
Oh, that indeed is the 43 of Delia, now the 48 of Hawley, making their way around the 33 Ferdiani. I think with the undercut, he's starting to feel those effects of those tires just a little bit here, but it'll be interesting to see if he's able to pull that same strategy off here later on in this race and see if he can't maybe put up a much bigger fight and prevent these guys from getting back around him here as this race trundles on along here at Auto Club in California. Pretty much, you might as well call it halfway at this point. And so we're just at 42 laps of this 85 lap race.
Albert Anderson has a bold prediction out there. He says he thinks Mark Collins is going to finish on the podium tonight. Mark Collins currently in 6th position. Only up a spot so far, but Albert seems to think that Mac's got a shot tonight at the top 3.
Well, it looks like he does so far. I think pretty much everybody's got a shot. Just keep the thing clean. You never know what can happen out here.
And that indeed, Mac Daddy just trying to keep it clean here. Tucked in behind that 663 of Ryan Pandicio and running some good laps. He was one of the last guys to hit the pits, so he should have some pretty fresh stuff here as they continue to roll on along here, putting some good green flag laps on in as we get some great racing action here left to go in this Num Thumbs Racing League Cup Series race. We definitely appreciate y'all coming back from Thanksgiving and hope everyone had a fantastic one out there as Chris Muse Jr. catching on up here to Stubblefield, trying to take that top 10 spot away. Looks like the 3 will do so.
Well, the Stubblefield fans aren't going to like that. A nice pass by the number 3 Budweiser machine. And puts Timothy Stubblefield back to 11th.
There's that link for you guys. American Dream Exteriors. Check them out. Roofing, siding. They do gutters. Cool little company there.
Yes, indeed.
Des Moines, Iowa. That's where they're at. Des Moines, Iowa. Do free estimates, too.
Well, I'll give you a free estimate as we are side by side for the race lead here. Kevin Delia and Zeth Hawley beating and banging their way down the front straightaway, now back into turns 1 and 2. This would be a great battle here if this was the last lap, but we still get to see it maybe a little precursor to what's coming up here later on in this race. And it looks like that 43 Delia, man, he's just really good at making that car a lot wider than it seems and difficult to pass.
Yeah, we see that a lot. These guys taking those lines away. I mean, that's it kind of has an after effect, though, if you would. Trying to take the line away of somebody that's running on the outside, coming out of the turns. They're going to remember that. He may get a little friendly shove here later. Here comes Derek Welch on the inside of the 27, trying to make this pass.
And Mr. Bogus himself trying to get around that 27 of Gavin Ray and shuffle back up the field. He had a little bit of an issue there on the race start when it went 3 wide. He backed out of it very early and dropped a ton of spots, but he's been fighting and clawing his way back up. And he's there now in 7th right now.
Earl Evans saying, look at Hawley's camera. Zeth Hawley, he says, if you're cold, they're cold. Bring your bikes inside. I guess he has his bike in his room there next to him somewhere.
Yeah. Or put a heat lamp on it or something.
Yeah, heat lamp. Give him a nice little shelter out there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bikes are important too.
Put a cover on mine.
I was expecting a pedal bicycle. No, that's a straight up motorcycle. Oh my
You
goodness!
got a motorcycle in there.
I've seen videos of those people. You'll see, especially like the smaller frame size. The sport bikes. Like
You can
people
bring a sport bike inside easily.
people jumping into like elevators and whatnot because they live in an apartment and they don't want to leave it
Just
parked
roll it
outside.
in.
So they bring it in with them.
Well, the damn thieves will take it anyway. That's good. Bring it on in. Bring it into the house. Why not? There's thieves and thievery out there, and don't trust them.
It's short looking to the outside of Gavin Ray. He had to kind of make a decision there to lift or move to the outside line. He had a heck of a run coming up behind the 27. It looks like it's running out on Jessica Stubblefield. Don't be saying that. She says, I wish a little C word would happen here.
Caution. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Wouldn't mind one stack back up and get this thing a little more fight involved here. Hoggard running real well right now.
He's caught back up to the top 3 right now. Same thing with that 663 Orion Pandisio. So the top 4 starting to reconvene here as we enter the later stages of this race. That 64 Joe Hoggard battling hard in this top 3, making the dive on down. He sees a big opening here with that 48 and the 43 battling up on the high side. He's going to try to shuffle his nose on in there. Of course, Hoggard, he's picked up a couple good wins here this late in the season.
Yep. Anybody's race here tonight. Kevin Daly, what a run for him tonight, up 11 spots, currently leading this thing. Got Zeth Hawley right on his back door.
That indeed is. Back here, a little bit of action happening behind the field is the 9 of Tommy Welch going around the 00 Joe Bennett machine. He's just absolutely struggling here tonight. He was just up scraping that outside wall there for a second as Delia continues to make that car an impossible passing object here as the 43 continues to guide this field along.
Well, I don't know what stacking up the field would really do before they get to about lap, what did we say, 64, 65? It just kind of screw up some guys' strategies.
Well, that'd be fun. Let's see some fights. Look at 64 Hoggard trying to get involved with the Holly and Delia. Holly and Delia look locked up like a couple wild dogs out there. They've been having a battle.
Dog fight.
Ooh.
I'll give a little tap. Gave a little apology on the radio, too. Kevin apologizing.
Oh, look at Pandisio, man. He looks like he's driving with a turbocharger, and that thing's been flip-flopping around the track a little bit, having that little bit of extra speed as we got side-by-side action here with the 64 and the 43 for the race lead. And it looks like the 43 on that high side is going to win that battle, but I think these guys are starting to feel the tires here, but not only that, but they're also starting to feel the bumps a little bit.
Ryan might be out there running a little bit hotter setup.
He's
got the-
driving it like he
got the-
driving it like he stole the damn thing.
He's got that modular block board out just a little bit bigger or something. They might have to tech that thing. Put
He's
some
moving.
calipers on. Pull the heads off. Put some calipers on them cylinders.
Oh boy, Pandicio, he's definitely getting the run off these corners. He's just got no room to make it work, and he's been bump drafting with that 64 Hogger. I know, English, you touched on the aero side of things, and staying in line definitely is a must-do here if you really want to make up a ton of spots. But you can see there that the 64 in that last quarter, man, he got a good bump, and he was carrying a ton of extra speed as, the two guys in front of him, though, Delia and Hawley, move up the racetrack as the 64 was moving up the racetrack, and they shoved that door closed in his face.
Now, these giant runs, they don't mean anything if you have to lift or, if you run out of real estate, a big run really doesn't mean anything. So they're just kind of exploring out there. Sometimes you can make it work, though. Somebody might get out of place. They might be out of position just a little bit. And you might be able to take advantage with a big run.
Speaking of trying to take advantage, here comes that 2 of Juan Jimenez, able to get the internet situation, I think, figured out a little bit here, but he is 10 laps down, so he is hoping for absolute carnage in this final half of this race to try to get those laps back here, and he's throwing his name into that hat. He's got fresh tires. He's just going to be able to at least get this lap back the quote-unquote hard way, but really for him it was quite easy there. Is still a good battle going on. 9 of Welch with the 79 of Stubbs.
I like that move by Juan. Come back out here and turn laps. I mean, he's got till about 15 more laps before it becomes kind of mathematically impossible for him to gain any extra positions. So he's going to ride it out for a little while, try to get to lap 70, see what he can do.
Yeah, that's a lot of effort to do something like that, so he should be commended. And he's staying out of the way, doing all he can just to put those laps down. Nice
Gavin
job.
Ray coming down pit lane, guys. It's an early pit.
Well,
Short pit.
he and Ferdiani.
Well, he did short, didn't he?
Yeah, he and Ferdiani did the short pit, but I think Gavin, though, maybe miscalculating the laps. We still have, about 20, I don't know what you want to call it, 28 laps left
He'll make
here.
it.
So he'll make it, but that is a long time on those tires.
Yeah.
I think the very interesting one here would be Paul Ferdiani, who did have the lead after the pit stops did cycle around until the rest of the field caught back on up. The 48 now in the lead as the 64 battles the 43.
Well, and here's the deal. I haven't seen much chatting going on in a while. Y'all want to win that keyboard at the end of the year. The only way you can do it is at least get entered by winning a fan of the race. So get in there. Let us know what's happening. And maybe you can win.
Give us
fan
some
of the race.
predictions. Albert Anderson out there giving us a prediction about who he thinks is going to be up there sitting on the podium tonight.
Let's get the talk moving out there. What is Hogger doing?
He's diving on down low there and able to get that spot back, but here comes the crossover a little bit here from the 48 of Seth Hawley, able to use that momentum coming off of the turn and leapfrog right back around that 64. So some great trading of spots as the 64 goes to do it again here on the 48.
And then he blocks him.
Short,
What's that, English?
like short coming down next lap.
Oh. Man.
So final round of pit stops well underway here tonight with the 48 and the 64 out in front battling for control of this race. And look at that one. Derek Welch fighting his way back through pretty much the entire field to get back up onto a podium spot right now.
I gotta say, congratulations to our buddy Alan Kewins tonight, too. He killed him a doe this morning. That boy's been waiting on a good deer to shoot Finally killed him, though. You got to put some meat in that freezer.
That's all he was wanting to do is get some food, and
Yeah.
I don't blame him. Good job. Congrats. Everybody's probably out there in the woods a little bit here and there.
We do have another prediction here. Jessica Stubblefield saying she thinks the 64 and the 48 are going to crash by night's end into each other out there.
She's
Carl
calling
Evans
it.
saying DW's going to make something happen. Vince is short with a black flag. Oh, he came down in the pits. I think he might have sped. Oh, no. That's going to be bad on Vince. That's a 40-second penalty. That's a lap, boys.
And that is a long lap at that. The 15, he's been having I can't say a bad day, but it's definitely been a challenging one for one of these guys that we typically see pretty good up at the front for a good chunk of this race. But he's definitely had his battles here in the kind of mid to late field as the 44 Dana Shepard having an issue while trying to come out of pit road here. Eric Thornton as well. He's still stuck up in the outside wall. Here comes the leaders, and that's going to bring out the caution strategies out the window here as we get a late caution.
That wasn't something we were expecting, was it?
Boy. Well, you know, Vince Short's saying, well, thank goodness. That'll keep me from going an additional lap down. He's now 2 laps.
And what happened there? Something just snapped on his car.
Because he had a little bit of damage there because he made contact with somebody.
Ooh. I'd like to hear that. Oh, the 44. Bites all around.
Let's see
Shepard
here.
and Thornton.
Ooh,
Ouch,
just
I see.
tacking up quarter panels there. I think it was just close racing that they didn't realize just how close. And yeah, you can watch here as that 22, it just bad things happened to him there, and probably losing a suspension link or something. And that either way will bring out the caution here tonight. What was looking like a caution-free night will no longer be so, but here we go, getting some pit stops done and underway, all being led by that 64 Joe Hoggard here. Thankfully for the guys that were coming on down here into pit road early on during the green flag run, for the most part, they will be able to get their lap back here. So that's a good sign for those guys. So really, nobody's going to get too stuck as pretty much everyone coming on down for their final pit stop now.
Yeah, this also helps guys like Juan Jimenez, who decided to stay in the race and click off laps out there. He's going to gain an attrition position, maybe 2 here. Let's see. Looks like Eric Thornton has manually disconnected, so he's going to get that spot at least. That's free points.
Yeah.
Earl Evans says he was following the line on the track, and it flows down just a tad there. He thinks that's what may have caused that little contact there that we saw.
You know, it definitely is possible. We have seen things like that happen before, but not only that, but you know, we talk about how long some of these races are, and we don't mean like this is a grueling long, like a 24-hour endurance race, but I mean Seth Hawley racing in VR, right? We'll race for like an hour at a time, and it's just like, oh my god, get me out of this thing, you know. But you know, you start to get a little bit of fatigue to set in. I mean, it's also, you know, it's 9 o'clock at night here on the East Coast. Some people have earlier bedtimes and what have you. So just little things like that, like just staying focused on the lane that you're in. Well, if you're focusing on that seam as the lane that you're in and it moves, yeah, well, you're probably going to go with it.
And if you have a spouse that likes it a little bit warmer in the house than you do, you've got that headset on for an hour, hour and a half. Yeah, during the cautions, during the pit stops, you're pulling that thing off your head just a little bit, wiping down your brow and your eyes and your forehead, trying to keep it dry because you get sweaty in there. I keep a fan pointed at my headset, so a little bit of air gets in there, but it's still pretty rough to wear that thing for an extended period of time.
Yeah, that indeed is. I'm just looking, talking about some great community action here as we get stacked up side by side here for the final 20 laps of this race. The Num Thumbs gaming community has some great games available to you over there, where you can do some flight simming, you can do some DayZ. I know we've been doing some DayZ.
Yeah.
They've got whole truck sim, Wreckfest. Even got a golf league over there, which we thank everyone for watching the golf stream last week. But I got beat. Me and Carl, we're gonna head on down to the railroad and have ourselves some fisticuffs going on there. He got me by a shot.
Albert Anderson says, cautions, bring out Gatorade bottles. That's about right. You might have to make a little pit stop of your own while you're driving. A Gatorade bottle is the best way to do it. The pace car's down.
That it is, as the field is... Oh, big checkup throughout this field. Oh, gosh, that was... I kind of figured that would happen, as pretty much everybody stuck single file down there on the bottom side. That's going to give the 64 Joe Hoggard the lead out right here from the get-go. Derek Welsh shuffling on through. He's got that 43 Kevin Delia sitting right there behind him. Oh, the one gets loose going down into turns 1 and 2. Thankfully, he's got pretty much all the apron in the world, all of California down there, as he manages to save that and get it back under control as the green flag racing continues to roll on here. The 9 of Tommy Welsh, he's now up here inside of this top 5, battling hard with some of these guys.
That great big runoff area saved Derek Welch. Not all the tracks on the schedule have that, so that's one thing that California did really, really well, is they put a lot of runoff area in here, and it saved us from a caution.
Yeah, but they're about to ruin it and tear this place down, so they don't like it, apparently.
It's sad.
Well, the good news is here in iRacing, we'll at least be able to continue to race this one for futures to come and get great races like we're seeing here. It's the 64 up on the outside, gets checked up in the side of this field here as we're going 3 wide. You got the 44, the 48, and the 64 all battling side by side. You also got the 33 Paul Ferdiani battling with that 9 of Tommy Welch. You got the 15 of Vince Short, who had that penalty. I don't know, it doesn't look like he was able to get all the lap back there, so he's still stuck that 1 lap down, but he is fighting hard. He's going to try to stay in front of that 44 at some point to be eligible for that lucky dog, as the 43 Kevin Delia makes his break on through out to the front, now getting clean and clear of the rest of the traffic as the fight rages on here after getting stacked back up. 16 laps to go.
Zeth Holly in that clean air. Oh, the 44's around. That's going to bring out a caution here, guys. Dana Shepard sideways in the tri-oval.
And if Finch Short was able to make it through cleanly there, he will get that lap back, which is what he needed to. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and... Oh, I don't think he may get it. I think there was some bump drafting action going on there, or
well, if the 44 got an X, right, for losing control,
I think the 15 may have gotten an X as well.
Oh,
the 15 definitely hit and pit maneuvered the 44 Short. Not that he meant to do it. I mean, I hope there's a fight involved, but definitely hit him, got into him. A little slower, maybe, than the 15.
Ooh, Yahtzee, some late action fun out here.
Oh, the 40. It looked like the 44 was getting a little tight and snuck up the track a little bit. The 9 goes up into the wall. 44 with the correction tries to come back down a little bit, but the 15 of Vince Short was right there. Quarter panels touch, and that sends that 44 on around. Thankfully, doesn't look like it was a very hard hit for Dana Shepard down there, and he's able to lock that thing down. But because of the green flag runs here, we're seeing people come on down for an extra set of tires that normally we don't see, because we typically have, a couple more cautions and guys like to keep the fresh tires on. But we're seeing a lot of people come on down. 48 of Zeth Holly, 64 Joe Hoggard, and 23 Mark Collins, though they're staying on out.
Well, like Derek Welch, Pandicio, Muth, Delia, I think really they're trying to set up their advantage with these tires. I think it's a smart move. This will put them 6 lap newer tires with roughly 13, 14 to go as we restart. It could be a factor. It really could. So we're gonna closely pay attention to that.
Indeed, as we continue to kind of get some pace laps on in here. So let's talk to one of these drivers, trying to see who we should talk to. How about Double O Joe Bennett? Having a rough night here tonight, but still sticking it out.
Sure.
Let's let me make sure I get everything all set up here. I can't see my buttons. Okay, there we go. So we talked to the Double O Joe Bennett machine. Sorry, buddy. Didn't realize you were talking with your teammates there, but having a rough night go of it tonight. Saw some frustrations on that driver cam a little earlier on. Is it just battling this car and this track, or are you having some battles there with some of the drivers out here in this field?
Well, I drove my tires off in the first little section, so I pitted a little early. Got a little track position back, and then, I pitted there, and the caution was the last thing I wanted to see because I was good to go on gas. I was saving tires, and the caution was the worst thing. And then everybody caught up to the field, and everybody slammed on brakes. And I tried to avoid, and I ended up getting a penalty there, hold for 40 seconds. So I guess I'll be back here trying to get my laps back. We'll see.
Well, I mean, it made for some good television programming there. You throwing stuff around. I know what it's like, man. I get mad at these guys all the time. I want to bang my controller and hit my keyboard. But hey, stay hanging there and get it back. Yeah, that's part of the fun of getting to watch y'all race. It is interesting to watch y'all physically race in this thing.
Save some anger for Charlotte next week, man. Y'all are going to be getting mad out there. I know it.
Man, I'm upset, but it's mostly my fault. But I'll persevere. We'll figure it out.
Awesome, man. Well, good luck out there. Looks like we're getting ready back going green flag racing. So we head on back to green flag racing here. A restart for 48 and the 64 up at the front as they head on down into turns 1 and 2. The battle rages on here. Still going side by side is that 48 and the 64. Here comes that 43. Kevin Delia, though, launching up through the middle. He saw a big gap opening up there, and he's going to try to make use of it as everyone beat and bangs their way on down the back straightaway. You got that 23 Mark Collins fighting with the 9 of Tommy Welsh. The 33 tucked in behind that 23 as everybody picking up every spot that they can here in the final 15 laps of this race, beating and banging the 9. Tommy Welch coming back down off of the wall right in front of that 79 of Stubbs, who's now back up inside this top 10, and you can just see the mob of traffic hunting down these leaders.
Yeah, you saw the 663 was looking at the big picture there on the restart. He had the run to pass the 64, but chose to push him and got some separation from the cars behind him, but looks like he's trying to pass him now.
Well, 43 has those little bit fresher tires. Is it paying off already?
Contact between the 3 and the 79, Muth and Stubblefield. Separation there between those two as well. A lot of two wide action still out there on the track after this restart as they go through the trial. Oh boy, what a gaggle. Look at this. The 1 and the 33. Very, very close. The 9 and the 23.
Contact in the back of the field. Oh man, looks like the 76 of Richard Hurst having a big issue back there, trying to get that thing wrangled back under control. We saw him have a little bit of contact there, I think maybe with the 67 and Nathan Stanley as we head on down this front straightaway once again. 11 laps to go with the 48 of Seth Hawley following that 43 of Kevin Delia. The 64 Joe Hoggard, though, he's still inside of this battle for this race lead. Ryan Pandisio, Tommy Welch, everybody battling for a top dog spot here tonight at Auto Club. Everybody in it with a chance to win it as we head on down into turns 3 and 4. The 27 of Gavin Ray trying to sneak up inside of that 23 of Mark Collins on that low side. Right behind him, Stubblefield trying to shuffle on past that 33 and the 3 as well. The 15 of Vince Short there getting that penalty, having to fight through this field again as well. The 67 Nathan Stanley, who saw had a great race last week, trying to fight his way back up through this field as well as the battles rage on with that 43 of Kevin Delia up here at the front. Still side-by-side action, though, for that 64 and the 48 heading on down this back straightaway.
Well, and almost every corner, they're straightening out on the straightaways. Every corner, we're almost getting 3 wide somewhere in the track. So there's lots of movement out there, which is going to make for some fun.
Ooh, 9 slides hard up into that outside wall. Able to keep it going, though, without too much of a loss of momentum. I think maybe being tucked in behind that 663 of Ryan Pandisio took a little air off that front end, not allowing that 9 machine to turn through the corner as the battle rages on. Contact being made, door slamming going on here between the 48 and the 64.
Oh, that was a close one. I can't believe they held on to that. Yeah, Albert Anderson's right. Aggression levels are rising out there for sure. These guys are desperate to get a good finish here tonight. Chaos.
Oh, the 1 got into it with a 9. I don't know how they held it.
Well, they're going 3 wide, though. 33 Paul Ferdiani sneaking up, being a gambler here later on in this race. His strategy got chucked out the window with that caution, and he's now having to mix things on up as we're still 3 wide here with the 1 sandwiched in between some drivers.
Can't believe they haven't wrecked yet.
Oh, man, they're
That's
shooting
insane.
dice. Shooting dice in Waco right here. This is good stuff.
Pandisio continuing to be the patient pusher that he is, pushing the 64. 64 may have overshot that turn just a little bit. They're 3 wide with Welch now. Oh, wow. This is super tight, John Buckley. I agree with you, buddy. This is insane. I'm at the edge of my seat right now watching that.
Well, so
there we go. More contact. Golly.
64 getting launched up. We're going 4 wide here. The 1 of Derek Welch, the 9 of Tommy Welch. You also got Joe Hoggard in there in the 3, Chris Muth Jr. 4 wide going down the back straightaway here. Everybody's trying to shuffle out and figure out what spot they want to be in. The 79 of Stubbs just tucking in and hanging on tight, holding on for a wild ride as we head on down into turns 3 and 4 now down this back front straightaway. 6 laps left to go in this race, and of course, who's excited to see all this race in action? Well, all of us, of course, as they still 3 wide, but Kevin Delia able to break through the madness here. He is opening up a gap, and he is absolutely gone.
More contact between the 1 and the 3 of Muth. This is just a testament to how clean and great this Numb Thumbs Racing League is. These guys 3 and 4 wide, able to keep this race green flag. So
79 and the 1 also. The 1 is getting in the middle of everything. He's getting doored on each side. Keeping it together, though.
Doing the tango out here at Auto Club as Right Side Romance is the theme song of the evening here as we head on down into turns 1 and 2. The 63 and that 48 continue to battle here for some podium spots. You still got that 33 of Ferdiani, the 3 Chris Muth Jr., Tommy Welch in that 9. All up inside here trying to pick up some podium spots, but that 43 of Kevin Delia absolutely launching out in front. 5 laps left to go, gonna be 4 in just a few moments here as they continue to battle side by side in the closing stages of this race.
Joe Hoggard found himself in a Welch sandwich there for a short time. Tommy Welch and Derek Welch side by side right now, going through the turns here. Great racing out here. Love California.
Well, I mean, I love some things about California. I don't like the high
The
taxes.
track. It used to be
Yeah.
called
Oh.
California. It's now called Autoclub.
Okay, sorry.
Just to clarify.
Look, we're going 3 wide, almost 4 wide up front again behind Delia.
We are the 33 and the 663 side by side. The 33 with just that slight edge, getting a little bit of a push here from that 3 of Chris Muth Jr. with 3 laps left to go. It is crunch time for these drivers. Who has the tires left after all of that hard racing that we saw here? Once when we drop that green flag, people side by side scraping that outside wall. The 2 of Wanamena coming back out of the pits here. He's going to try to do his best to stay out of the way. As look at that 663. He is just absolutely giving up on some spots here just to give some of these guys some push as he and the 3 make some contact going side by side. The 1 of Derek Wells washes up the track right behind him, right in front of that 9 of Tommy Wells. 2 laps to go now.
John Buckley says, I swear I almost saw 5 wide here at this racetrack. It's been nuts. These guys are so clean, though, out there racing.
Yeah, I love how we had kind of a somewhat mild style race, and now we're having just a great finale.
Knock down, drag out now, boy.
That it is, as the 3 tucked in now, trading spots with that 663, giving him a little bit of a push, try to get back up and in front of that 33, holding on to that 3rd place spot. However, here comes that 43 of Kevin Delia crossing that white flag line. So no more cautions here this evening. We're going to race this one on out as the 9 of Tommy Walsh goes side by side with that 64. The 1 tag teams up with the 3 here, trying to launch around that 33, and they wheel the 33 up against the wall, losing on a ton of spots, breaking down this backstretch now. It goes the 43, getting a little bit of help from the 2. Absolutely no pressure behind him whatsoever as he makes his way down through turns 3 and 4, just a few hundred feet away. And the 43, Kevin Delia, gonna pick up the win. You're gonna have Zeth Hawley pick up 2nd, drag racing across the line for 3rd. It will end up going to the 663 of Ryan Pandicio.
Incredible. We had a couple of really, really close finishes. The 33 and the 9 had a really close one as well. Outstanding finish.
And the fireworks are being shot off here at Auto Club.
As they should be, as we've had fireworks here in this final stage. What a rush, what a rumble, as a little victory love tap coming from that 663 to that 43 here tonight. As the 43 gets to burn that rubber on down.
Albert Anderson saying, one heck of a race. Albert Anderson, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Albert Anderson, our fan of the race here tonight at Auto Club. Thank you so much, Albert. We'll get to see him race in a couple of other leagues this week, but he's been entered in to our contest. That awesome RGB keyboard. Gonna be we're gonna do a drawing at the end of the season here at NTRL.
Oh man, that we will as well. Some of this action tries to come on down here.
Do some housekeeping here. I'll be right back.
Well, there's lots of housekeeping when you're looking at kind of stunned of how that race ended up. It was just kind of, like I said, mediocre, and it turned into a free-for-all at the end, last 10 laps.
Well, you ain't kidding there, buddy, as we continue to watch these guys do some victory stuff here. Just trying to pull up some stuff while we got a quick second waiting on these guys to jump on up there into the That broadcaster channel.
Pulling up all the stuff.
Hold on.
Speaking
All the stuff.
Speaking of all the stuff, you guys like all the stuff you've seen out here tonight, give us a thumbs up on the broadcast. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. That way you know when we've got new races coming out. You'll be able to watch live with us and not miss any of the action at AAA Broadcasting here on YouTube. Thank y'all so much for all the support we've seen over the past couple of years now. Love all our fans out there. Appreciate each and every one of you.
Yeah, hit that like button so Mark Zuckerberg can tell us how
That's
good we
not
are.
this. That's Facebook, man.
Oh, it's the same thing. They all own. It's a conglomerate. Everybody knows
friends.
it's one social conglomerate run by the
all-
entire globalization of
all
the
over.
world.
They're all on the
But
same bowling team as well, I think.
That's definitely they are.
Oh,
If they would bowl.
talking about being on a bowling team, let's go ahead and talk to tonight's third place finisher in that 663, Ryan Pandicio. Bowling ball his way up through this field. Ryan, it looked like there at the end, you weren't doing anything for yourself. You were basically giving shoves to back bumpers all race long here and being patient, and it got you back up here onto that podium here in third place.
That was a fantastic race. Really happy for Kevin, and great job to Zeth for that race also. Really good fight all the way through.
Great job out there. You were Mr. Patient. You were also Mr. Pusher. There's a few times you had huge runs, and I was watching you thinking, is he going to dip down or is he going to choose to push this guy, create some separation with the cars behind him? And that's what you ended up choosing most of the time. But great race out there tonight. It's going to be a little bit different next week. Y'all got Charlotte on the schedule next week. Talk a little bit about maybe the difference in how you're going to approach that track.
So Charlotte is a bit more brake heavy. Probably a bit more stressful on the tires, I'd imagine. Aero push will probably be a much bigger factor than it was tonight. So definitely going to be down to tire saving.
Well, we had to save tires tonight, so you kind of got the hang of that tonight. Great job. Really had a fast car. Looked like you stole it half the time you're out there on the track. So good job tonight. You have any shout outs before we let you go?
Thank you. Shout out to Kevin first of all. Great job on that win. Shout out to Docket, my sponsor, DEP. I know he's been dealing with a lot lately. Shout out to you guys, everyone over at Nexus Esports also. And I think that's about it.
Awesome, Ryan. Well, a heck of a job done here tonight, finishing up there on that podium in third place. Congratulations, and we look forward to seeing you guys back in action next week as this holiday season continues to rumble on, and we'll see you guys live again at Charlotte.
Thank you.
As we inch our way up this podium, let's go ahead and talk to the 48 of Zeth Hawley. And Zeth, I know you had some good battles out there with the 43, that 663, the one. You had battles with everybody out there tonight. Let's no other way to really put it. But someone put it pretty good there in chat. Tommy Welch out there, he said, man, I hope that looked as good as it felt racing. Did it feel good racing out there, especially in those final few laps?
Oh, most definitely. Besides the race with Justin Lawson at iRacing in the Xfinity class, like this is by far one of my favorite races this season.
I think if there was a league that just raced Autoclub every week, it'd be great. This track produces such awesome racing. So many green flag laps and different lines being run. This is where the next gen car is really shining here, I think, since its creation. But a little bit different deal next week. We're going to Charlotte. Ryan said it's going to be a little bit more stressful out there, a little bit heavier braking zones and stuff like that, and not near as much room out there on the track. You guys going to put some practice in here?
Probably going to need to, because last time at Charlotte, it didn't really go the way I wanted to. I think I still got top 10 out of it, but I don't know. Charlotte, there's absolutely no room. Like, you're playing with a game of inches, like maybe even millimeters. Like, if you have one little mess up, you're done. You're going to get in an accident. You're going to cause an accident. Like, it's going to be a nightmare, but I have a feeling it's going to be a good race.
Well, hopefully it's something like we had tonight. What an awesome race, especially at the end. And to be up there on the podium, it's got to feel good. Do you have anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go?
Oh, yeah. I want to shout out all my teammates, Joe Bennett, Paul Ferdiani. Rob couldn't be here tonight. He had to watch the new baby and the other kids. But I have a feeling he's probably watching the broadcast. If not, then I'm sure he'll see it. Shout out to NTRL and shout out to the DP boys, man. Like, I knew from the get-go when we were all 5 racing for position there, I knew it was going to be a great race, and they kept it clean. We had a lot of fun, and we were running away from them.
I had that. You did, man. You had a heck of a race down there in that 48 machine. Congratulations on that second place finish, and we look forward to seeing you guys back in action coming up next week at Charlotte.
Oh, yeah. Looking forward to it, guys. Thanks for the broadcast. Y'all do a hell of a job.
Appreciate that.
We absolutely do, as we head on down there into Victory Lane, where we get to talk to that 43 of Kevin Delia, picking up the race win here tonight, up 11 spots, your hard charger of the day. But man, Kevin, you didn't make it look that hard. You made that thing look easy, picking up the race win here tonight. Kind of walk us through that after that final caution that we saw from you guys, and thoughts going through your head, especially once when you were able to break through the madness and start to run away.
I think what really helped us, especially me and Ryan, was that call to take tires. 5 laps here that could make or break you, and that helped us out a lot. And just that little offset on tires helped me get around Zeth. And man, that was some insane race in there for a while. That was a blast.
Well, we had a blast too watching it. We enjoy the hell out of every race we do here at Autoclub, and that Oceanside Cleaners Chevrolet Camaro, man, it was hot tonight. You did one hell of a job up there in the front. Talk a little bit about DEP graphics. We've heard them mentioned quite a bit tonight in the interviews. You got the hashtag Jimmy Strong on the hood out there tonight. Numb Thumbs is a close-knit community. You guys take care of one another, and it's been a great thing seeing all you guys come out and support the owner of DEP Graphics out there as well.
Well, I race for DEP Racing, and man, it has been awesome. We have some amazing paints. He is an amazing guy. I just think we have a great team set up. Ryan's awesome, Joey's awesome, Juan, Dana, like it works. And with DEP making the paints, like they look good all the time.
Well, you look good out there. Really was out there racing the whole race up front, man. Great job. I know you're probably ready to get out of that rig, but would you like to give any shout-outs before we let you go?
Want to shout out DEP Graphics for this amazing car and putting this team together. This has been a blast, especially tonight. Everybody out there, especially Zeth, Ryan, Joey, Derek, like that was some close racing, and that was probably my favorite race so far this year. Well, I thank Derek for putting this league on, and I thank you guys for broadcasting this.
Awesome, man. Well, congratulations for picking up the win here tonight. Go ahead, head on out there and celebrate. We'll see you guys back in action in 1 week's time, and that will be live from Charlotte. And if this one was going to be a fun one, I think that one will be fun as well. So congratulations, man, and look forward to seeing you guys back in action next week.
All right, thanks, guys.
Great win, man. Hard fought for sure. Up 11 spots.
Man, you ain't kidding us. Whew, we're gonna have to take a good minute to digest this one, boys. It was, the all-around
So
perfect race. You got solid racing at the start, a nice little lull there in the middle as everyone's kind of just jockeying for that final spot or two. Then the late cautions getting everybody all stacked up, and then it was just no bars, all go for it finish here at the end.
So we saw everything tonight. We saw strategy happen in the pits. We saw guys getting some penalties for speeding. We saw drafting stuff. We saw great running out there. Guys picking different lanes and just really, really clean racing for the most part. And I loved it. I love this race tonight. I love it every time we come here to Auto Club. Derek Welch, please make a league that just does Auto Club every week. This is awesome.
No, don't do that. But it is a cool track, and it run the gambit of everything. We clicked off laps. We had some anger at some points, and we had a few cautions and wrecks that were cool, not too much, and a great finish. You couldn't ask for anything better, Brown. A great race.
That indeed it absolutely was. Speaking of finishing, let's go ahead and tell everybody where their favorite driver finished up here tonight with that 43. Kevin Delia, your hard charger of the evening, up 11 spots to bring home the race win. The 48 is Seth Hawley, finishing right where he started there in second. He had some great battles, like with that 663 of Ryan Pandicio, able to find his way back up onto a podium here tonight. The one of Derek Welsh, he was having an up and down day, and tonight he finished pretty well up as he finished here in fourth. In fifth, we got that 3, Chris Muth Jr. slogging it here in the middle of all this action. We got the 64 Joe Hoggard as well. We saw some great moves being made out of him. He's able to snag away a 6th place finish. 33, Paul Ferdiani, the gambler. He started to look like he might have had a gambling strategy there at the start, but strategy went out the window. Still, it managed to find himself up 9 spots here to finish in 7th. The 9 of Tommy Welsh had a great night tonight as well, having a heck of a time out there. Sounded like he was having some great fun, able to walk away here in 8th. 9th, we got that 23 of Mark Collins, finishing inside of that top 10, with the 27 of Gavin Ray getting that final top 10 spot.
Old Cubby out there, Nathan Stanley in the 67, still on the lead lap, finishing in 11th. Timothy Stubblefield as well in that 79 car, finishing last car on the lead lap. He'll finish 12th. Vincent Short, a little bit of bad luck out there. He'll finish 1 lap down. I can't imagine where he'd be at right now if he didn't get that penalty on the pit lane, but ultimately he'll finish your first car 1 lap down. So will Dana Shepard in the 44, also 1 lap down. And Richard Hurst 1 lap down in the 76 Ford machine out there. Joe Bennett, 00 Joe, finishing 2 laps down. He'll finish 16th. 17th, Juan Jimenez, able to pick up an attrition position out there after he had so many connection issues out there. The 2 machine will finish 17th. 18th, Eric Thornton in the 22. The 55 of Tom Barish. It looks like he did grid. He might have been race control or something out there tonight. I'm not sure, but the double nickel rounds out your field in 19th.
Indeed. Well, we thank you all for tuning in and watching, as you guys are the reason why we do this and have such a good time of doing it. So in case you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on a single second of the great racing action that we have for you guys here between all the broadcasts that we do. And if you like any of them, be sure to hit that thumbs up button and get us some more views, as the algorithm does algorithm things, and they'd like to know that people like this video. So we thank you all for that, as well as we got to thank our great sponsors like tonight's race sponsor here. Got to pull up the right one, of Gulf Coast Sand. Be sure to get in contact them for all your premium fill needs down there. They got pebble rock. They got good fill sand. They got everything, and they got their own trains, planes, and automobiles to, you know, ship that stuff on up to you. So be sure to go ahead and get in contact with them. Go ahead and also bring big time support to Butt Kicker. Thank you, Butt Kicker, for jumping on board here, as well as JP Designs and 3D Prints. Go ahead and get in contact with him, whether you need an iRacing paint job done or you need a new button box or a 3D printing thing done. Be sure to go ahead and check them on out. Speaking of button boxes, head on over to Admin Box, the premier button box for race control admins, as they, at a push of a button, can throw yellow flags, do black flags, wave rounds, clears, whatever have you. Be sure to order your next admin box here from them, as well as, gotta go up to the secondary stuff here. We got TrackDogsRacing.com, your premier merchandising supplier over here for the NTRL. Thank you guys so much. Be sure to head on out there to get your NTRL swag and merchandise. They've also got some of the, I think, Jimmy Strong stuff still up there, but it's not going to be up there for much longer. So be sure, if you haven't already, be sure to jump on there and get some of that, as well as Track Bar Media. Fantastic intro video that we got now there done by them. So thank you guys so much. Be sure to go check them on out for their real life and sim life videography and photography for this auto racing that we love, as well as simgearcentral.com. Head on down there to pick up your next button box, whether that's for your truck sim, your flight sim, your farm sim, or your iRacing sim. It's got all the buttons, dials, knobs, flip switches, whatever have you, all at the reach of your fingertips. So be sure to head on over to simgearcentral.com and mention that AAA and NTRL sent you on over there for 10% off your next order. And of course, big thank you to Davidson Builders, your proud sponsor of the action replay here on the broadcast. It's up there in that northern New Jersey area, some of the premier builders up there. So be sure for your next remodeling project, get in contact with Davidson Builders. So with that, we close things down here tonight in California, but don't worry, we're heading here in the virtual world to a virtual track in iRacing Super Speedway as the HCK Beagles come off of their Thanksgiving break and have a good battle there tomorrow night. So we'll get that action all live to you, and we can't wait to bring it on to you. So I am Alan Brown for Alan English and Adam Turner. We are signing off.
Derpy derp derp. We gone.
Alrighty, see ya.